law is brought, and the intention is very clear. The Waqf Amendment Act is only for the welfare of the Muslim community at large, and specifically it will benefit the weaker sections. The deserving people will get benefits out of the new provisions. We have seen the mismanagement of Waqf properties for such a long time. We have taken a corrective step, and I think very soon people of the country will know how much benefit it brings and how much actually on the ground it creates a positive change. People will get to see it.
In the course of this entire long debate that was happening in the parliament, I spoke to a few who made certain presentations before you and the board itself. And they say that some elements, some aspects of the Waqf board in itself, the misdemeanor of the Waqf board is not known to the public. What is it that you can share with us that you would say probably changed the mindset of the government on this entire issue, and you believe that this is the right step forward?
I think the main issue is the problems which were there in the Waqf board and its management were by and large being given shelter or protection by various people who are at the helm of the affairs, including the previous governments. Now, such a large property, the largest property in the world, is the Waqf properties in India. Such large properties being misused for such a long time, yet not coming out in the public domain. There's no large anger on the street against mismanagement of the Waqf property, means that it was under the carpet, being supported by the people sitting at the top. So now Modi ji has thought it out very clearly that we can't wait it further. Enough is enough. We must bring a new law. It's basically amendment of the old law, the new provisions, and then ensure the benefits reach out to the deserving people. So now these people who are protesting, who are raising concerns, are basically raising concern for their own personal benefits. We are not bothered about their protests. We don't care about the points or the issues raised by those people who have looted the Waqf properties. We will listen to, we will care, and we will address the issues raised by the common people, the needy people, the people who are the people who themselves have created this mess, this problem. Why do we listen to them? We are very clear about that.
But did you foresee that this could be a problem? Because as I understand, for this government, Modi 3.0, this perhaps has been the biggest reform that you're bringing in right now. And I'm sure the government must have done the homework. What is the kind of communication that the Prime Minister has had with you as the Union Minister when you were bringing in? Because this went to the JPC, there was a lot of deliberation that was happening. What is that one message perhaps?
No, Prime Minister is very clear. Good works which are for the people, common people, are to be taken in a way which reaches out to them. The message must reach out to the people. Now, with regards to the protest, I had sensed it since long time. Okay. Not only in this case, whenever there's a shake-up which disturbs those people who are in that comfort zone, will naturally protest. So the rich and powerful people who have mismanaged the Waqf properties for their personal gains, naturally they will react and protest. And as expected, they have done it. So there is nothing called unpreparedness or being surprised by this protest on the street. We knew it. These people will protest. But the end result is, it will ultimately, benefit will go to the needy.
It's a larger conspiracy here, because none of this happens without a conspiracy at place.
Conspiracy is a smaller word. What I want to tell is, these people who are protesting are divided into two categories. One is those who have misuse the Waqf properties. Those who have, treated the entire Waqf properties as their jagir, the personal fiefdom. It is they who will loot, and they'll continue to loot the Waqf properties. The other people who are protesting is the political parties who treat the Muslims as the vote bank. They think that Muslims are reserved for them politically. So these two groups have combined together and made this kind of unruly behavior and protest on the street. But we are very clear, we are with the poor Muslims.
But when you see the images coming in from Murshidabad, particularly in West Bengal, it is undoubtedly worrisome. It is undoubtedly clear that there is something more than what meets the eye. As a minister, do you believe that there is someone who's stoking fire there, and perhaps Murshidabad is a classic example? Who do you really hold responsible for?
Unfortunate incident in Murshidabad which led to killing of the innocent people, and some more incidents we have seen elsewhere, some sporadic incidents we have witnessed. The state governments must ensure that it doesn't happen. If the chief minister is the one who incites the violence, if the chief minister is the one who is instigating the people to protest, if the chief minister is the person who is unable to control the law and order situation, then who pays for it?
But you're making a very serious allegation. You're saying a sitting chief minister is inciting violence in the state?
I'm not saying, she herself is saying. She is saying that people should protest against this act. There's nothing to hide.
Do you believe that this sends across a very wrong message? Because what we are seeing is that it has got a ripple effect. She says that this is being done by Bangladeshi infiltrators. And
forget about these allegations and these theories and all. It is as crystal clear as one can see. She herself has said she will not implement the law in West Bengal. She herself has stated that people should protest. She herself said that she herself will not allow these provisions to be implemented in our state. What does it mean? She's defying the constitutional proprieties. She doesn't understand, or she is not trying to, act as per the constitutional protocol. We can easily see through everything.
A year back, Mr. Rijiju, as a network, we had sent our crew to Munambam, the very place that you visited just recently. At that point in time, the accusation that was leveled against us that we were basically fear-mongering. Even today, that is the accusation that has been leveled, that you, the government, has been targeting the community. And the fact that this kind of a stringent measure would not have been brought in for the Christians, it would not have been brought in for the Hindus. Religious endowment for the other trusts does not see this kind of a stringent law being brought in. Stringent, the word I'm using is because that's the accusation, that you would not have done it for any other religious body.
See, these are, I think, issues which doesn't need any kind of a response. These allegations are very politically motivated, so it's something I feel that we should not be wasting our time in answering these allegations. Our job is very straightforward. The Munambam case is 1900 case. Right. We were not even born. Our party was born in 1980. How are we responsible for the Munambam crisis? So 1900 case, and then 1990 the gentleman declared Waqf, given the land to a school, a college. Then college sold the land to some farmers, then the Waqf board claims, and then the fishermen are landless. How do we get into the target? We are here only to settle the issue, and this unfortunate fishermen are suffering for a long time, and the entire Christian community, the church bodies, they have made appeal to the members of parliament to support this Waqf amendment bill. So it is beyond politics. I had gone to Munambam to see by myself that how people are suffering, and whatever necessary steps taken, it has been taken, and then let us see now how we can help. I can't just say that I will solve this problem within a month or 2 months. I am not a dictator or not a king. I am just a mere public representative following the rules and the spirit of the Constitution. We have to be guided by the constitutional provision. I have gone there as a responsible member of the Government of India, and then I've seen the pains and agonies of the people of Munambam. It's unbearable. The innocent people of Munambam have suffered for so long. They have endured pains and agony for such a long time. Nobody had taken any note of their pain, especially the Karnataka state government had ignored all their appeal. So ultimately, when we have brought this necessary change in the Waqf Act, this will lead to solving the problem. Let justice get back to them. Kerala government will have to assist. Let the rules and everything be framed after the act is passed now. Then we will issue necessary instruction also to the state Waqf board and the state government.
What I would like to share with our viewers is that many would not know what went behind bringing in the Waqf bill. In fact, a lot of people who presented their proposals before you, you've gone through every slide is what I'm given to understand. I want to know from you if you can help recall one such moment during this entire deliberation which perhaps will remain with you always in your life, why you believe strongly that this will usher in a big reform in the country. What is that one moment or one incident that you believe has stuck to your mind?
No, there's nothing called one moment, because the injustice which we have seen has been going on for a long time. During the assessment of the entire thing, when once the Prime Minister has instructed that there has to be some necessary changes in the present Waqf Act, so that led to going into the issues. A series of cases have come out. It was appalling how the other political parties ignored them. It's very sad, actually.
Do you believe there has been a political collusion all this while? It is not about individuals. It is about political collusion, the fact that there are political parties that were benefiting, and financially too. There's a financial angle that emerges from this entire issue.
I have already stated earlier, the Waqf properties, even Sachar committee had stated at that time that easily the Waqf properties should have generated 12,000 crore per annum at that point of time. I think that is a very, not a proper calculation. It could have been much more even that point of time.
Do you believe that entire approximation that we have done with the Waqf board or the Waqf properties is much lesser than what the public...
No, now after this lakhs of properties you are seeing, many of the properties are in a prime location, So that is why such a committee, if it had gone through a proper market survey and all, even their estimate could have been higher. So anyway, that conservative estimate was there that 12,000 crore could have been generated at that point of time. But now, it's unimaginable. So those people who have pocketed those amounts, mismanaged, misused, and captured all those Waqf properties, they will naturally react. These people are protesting and they will continue to protest, but why should we be bothered by them? We should be bothered by the concern of the poor people.
When we announced that we are going to sit down for an interview with you, the questions that we wanted to also take up from the viewers, because there is a lot of misinformation that is doing the round. That's the purpose to sit down with you. One is about, as you already cleared at the beginning of the interview, it is not arbitrary taking away the properties. But the argument made has been that this is an infringement of Article 14, it is an infringement of Article 26, and something that the Supreme Court is basically also referring to. I want to begin with the first big concern that has been raised, where the Supreme Court has also perhaps raised a concern, the inclusion of non-Muslims in the Waqf board, noting that Hindu Sikh endowments do not face such kind of an interference, and the number of non-Muslims who would be part of the board.
Then the Waqf board should not claim arbitrarily the land belongs to the government, the Hindus, the Sikh and Christians then. If you are claiming the lands belong to other denominations, other religious groups, then it is fair to have at least one or two representatives in the board. It is a statutory board.
Right.
Waqf board is not managing the property, it is just overseeing the administrative requirement. The Waqf properties are managed by the mutawalis. Mutawalis are Muslims only.
Right.
So where does this concept has come that we are taking in and infringing into the rights of the Muslims?
They're saying, why do you need non-Muslims in the board?
That's what I'm saying. Suppose if your property is taken over by a religious institution which you don't belong to, who should decide? Do you think that it should be left to one community, or it should have a fair representation of all communities? It's a very clear-cut case. People are trying to divert attention by saying that it is infringement into the affairs of the Muslim religious management. It is not. Waqf board is a statutory body. Waqf is not mentioned in Quran, that everybody knows it. Waqf is a property created by Waqif in the name of Allah for religious, charitable and pious purpose. And then it is managed by a mutawali, appointed by the Waqif. Mutawali has to be a Muslim. It's just like a charity commissioner. You know, charity commissioner can be anybody.
Correct.
But those who are in the trust will have to be, the trustees will have to be from that denomination only.
So the rationale is because it involves land belonging to the other communities, hence it requires some sort of an arbitration. All this while there was no arbitration on issues like this. That's the rationale. Is that what the government is basically making?
You don't need to go into too much of complications. It's very simple. If Waqf board claims a land of somebody arbitrarily, and only Muslims sit in the Waqf board, even if they are doing good job, there will be accusation that the only Muslims are in the board, and that is why they are not being considered enough for the person who belongs to other religious identity. So that is why it is all the fittest of the things to have at least a representative from other communities. So in this case, the Waqf Council, there is maximum 2 non-Muslims.
Right, because there is a clarification that many wanted on this aspect that you're talking about 2 Muslims. The CGI says, and I'm quoting, but as far as other members are concerned, it can't be that out of the 22 members in the council, only 8 are Muslim. You have Kapil Sibal arguing that it says excluding ex officio members, 2 is the minimum. All of them have to be Muslim as per Article 26. Here even 1 is too many, is what Kapil Sibal had.
You don't listen to people like Kapil Sibal. They think that Parliament is their 5th dom, Supreme Court is their 5th dom, and politics is their 5th dom. They never faced the problem of the people on the ground, always appearing, always fighting for those which are working against the country. They will appear for the terrorists, they will appear for all anti-social elements. I don't want to answer to people like Kapil Sibal and the gang who are always there to create a kind of impression that they are the guardians of India. They don't know. The country has moved ahead. People have trusted their faith on PM Modi ji and NDA government. We have gone far ahead. They are living in their own world. वो अपने दुकान चला के बैठना है चुपचाप. Don't try to mislead the people. They think that they are master of everything, and they think that other people are average people, are not intelligent enough to take care of country's interests. Forget about these people.
Despite you getting elaborately speaking about the fact that century-old masjids will not be taken away because it is well documented under the Archaeological Survey of India, you've had people like Asawuddin Owaisi saying that that is the intention of the government. That how do you...
I don't want to go into details of this thing. I have explained enough. We are a responsible government. India has a very strong system in place Nobody can go and snatch somebody's property like that. There is a rule of law in this country. Constitution governs on everything. We are not here to take over the power which is not given to us by the Constitution. Everything.
But for like example, some of the masjids which may not have the documentation, they are saying this is a way to take over Gyanvapi. This is a way you would have taken other masjids, because it's not possible to have those kind of documentation, and it is accepted by faith that it is their masjid. Then what do you do in that kind of an argument?
These are farce argument. No need to go into all these things. They are just making all kinds of false claims and allegations. Our intention is very clear. Just think for the welfare of the poor people and stop the misuse of work property. That's all.
And for those who believe that what happened in the Supreme Court this week, that the centre has basically sought 7 days' time, is seen some sort of a victory for the certain lobby.
There's nothing called victory or defeat. Don't look at things from that angle. We are responsible people. We are committed to our cause. We will work for the poor people. The court process is a process which we have to respond, because there is a process in judiciary. I can't be dismissive about the judiciary things and whatever is going on. But we are concerned about what we ought to do, we have done. And we will further do what is necessary for the poor people. That is the commitment of Prime Minister Narendra Modi from the day one, that our government is devoted to the poor people of this country. That is final. We will work for the poor. These rich people and these few influential people may create ruckus. We are not bothered. We are bothered by the pains and agonies of the poor people, and we will work for them.
And when you say the poor people, you are also talking about all communities, because you've largely always said that why look at minorities as just one community and not the other communities too? What is the message that you are sending across?
I have no message. Prime Minister has already sent a message. We are working with the programs of reaching out to the poor people, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. We are not against any community or any religious group. We are just working on the basis of what people have reposed their faith on us. Prime Minister has already set the agenda, and as a minister in his cabinet, it is my duty to ensure that our commitment for the poor people will remain undiluted, and we will be committed to discharging our responsibility to fulfill the objective.
I want to end this by taking a direct message from you, because you've always interacted with people directly. Today we are at a sensitive position, and perhaps if this does not end, it can only spiral further. So I want you to directly tell the message to those who are out on the streets, that are they being taken for granted for certain political gains?
You can't manage those people who are pretending not to understand anything. You can't manage them. These people, this Congress, the communists, do you think that you can make them understand?
But what about the people on this?
It's not the people, it's the misguided people who are influenced by these people who are responsible for all this mess. The work properties are being misused by same people who are in the street, and they are guiding the innocent people. So I'm telling everybody that we are not going against any community, any religious group. So there's nothing to fear about anything. So I told them those same people have misguided the Muslims during the CAA time. So let them apologize first, that they had accused, they have warned, they have stated that we will take away the citizenship status of the Muslims after CAA is passed. Has any Muslim lost their citizenship status? So let them come and apologize first, then they can mislead again.
Well, thank you very much, Minister Rijiju, an unfettered minister, making it once again clear that this is what you see on the streets are not people opposing the Waqf Act, but those who have been completely misguided by political parties with their own narrow gains. Thank you very much for joining us.
सस्ते वाले दाल मसाले स्वाद हुआ बेकार। MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
भारत एक देश ही नहीं बल्कि 5000 साल पुरानी धड़कन है जो आज भी हमारे मंदिरों, हमारे त्योहारों और हमारे खाने की थाली में सुनाई देती है। भरतनाट्यम की मोहक मुद्राओं से लेकर भारतीय संगीत की आत्मा छू लेने वाली धुन तक हमारी संस्कृति एक जीवंत कलाकृति है। हमने दुनिया को वेद, योग और वो ज्ञान दिया जो एंशिएंट नहीं, टाइमलेस है और आज भी उतना ही रेलेवेंट है। एज ए डिजिटल क्रिएटर मेरा एक ही मकसद है कि इस सांस्कृतिक धरोहर को आपकी फीड तक लाना, खूबसूरती के साथ, गर्व के साथ और एक उद्देश्य के साथ। तो आइए अपनी जड़ों से जुड़ें, उनसे सीखें और उनको दुनिया तक पहुंचाएं। मेरा नाम उपासना है और ये एक शुरुआत है।
My name is Purnima Kotak and I am India's first and only leadership branding coach. My 20 years of corporate career has given me deep exposure into leadership dynamics, organizations, culture.
This week on Get Me Right, what's behind this anti-Hindu, anti-India rant of General Asim Munir, the Pak Army Chief? Was it just to bait the overseas Pakistanis or there is more to it? Is he shoring up his defenses against a possible coup brewing in Rawalpindi? Also, federalism went through a stress test this week in India, with at least 5 states refusing to implement the new Waqf law and the Tamil Nadu Assembly passing an autonomy resolution. We look at the state of center-state relations and the resilience of India's constitution in holding the union together. Join me this weekend on your favorite deep dive show, only on Republic TV.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते हैं।
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते। And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me, I thought.
Cricket fans.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
My name is Purnima Kotak and I am India's first and only leadership branding coach. My 20 years of corporate career has given me deep exposure into leadership dynamics, organizations, culture, and what people need to develop themselves into the next level of leadership. One thing I learned at that time is that we as Indian leaders have immense intelligence, high potential to grow into world-class leadership. We are very hardworking, and the best thing is we have civilizational strength running through our veins.
भारत एक देश ही नहीं बल्कि 5000 साल पुरानी धड़कन है जो आज भी हमारे मंदिरों, हमारे त्योहारों
Days after 2 students were asked to remove Janayu or sacred thread before going inside examination halls in Karnataka, massive protests held in different districts. Bengal governor meets violence victims in Murshidabad and Malda. Assures strict action and all possible help. Indian student fatally hit by a stray bullet in Canada. MEA expresses regret homicide investigation underway. On the heels of the Tesla India entry, Elon Musk announces his India visit this year. Kerala police arrest Malayalam actor Shine Tom Chacko for alleged drug use. And after the phenomenal response, the Positive Influencer program and the show goes live tonight at 8 p.m. on Republic. Starting with a big breaking story coming in from the national capital in Delhi, where there was a building collapse earlier today. The death toll has increased in the Mustafabad Delhi collapse. The number of people who have been killed has risen to 11. Let me go across to my colleague Soumya joining us live from the field. Soumya, over to you.
Yes, well, as per the latest updates shared by the NDRF officials and the hospital officials, the latest death toll stands at 11. 22 people in total were rescued, out of which 11 have been declared dead. 14 were rescued earlier in the day, and other half were rescued post 12 p.m. Here we are standing at that very spot where in Mustafabad this particular 4-story building collapsed in the wee hours of Saturday. As per the CCTV footage details, the incident took place at 2:40 a.m. We will try and get a word from the neighbors here who came here at 3:30 a.m. last night to help the family rescue the people who were trapped inside. आप लोग कितने बजे तक, ये जो लोकल्स और नेबर्स यहाँ पे पहुँचे थे, आप लोगों को कब तक पता चला कि ये घटना घटी है और आप लोग कब तक आए थे?
ये 2:50 की घटना है। लगभग उसी बीच में जैसे शोर शराबा यहाँ हुआ, यहाँ के लोकल के लोग यहाँ पर आ पहुँचे। मैं यहाँ सही 3:30 बजे यहाँ आया। 3:30 बजे के बाद से हम लोग रेगुलर यहीं पे 6 बजे तक कम से कम 12 लोगों को यहाँ के लोकल लोगों ने बचाकर उनको अस्पताल में पहुँचा दिया गया था।
एनडीआरएफ और पुलिस की हेल्प के पहले लोकल्स ने 12 लोगों को निकाला।
12 लोगों को पहुंचा दिया गया है। एनडीआरएफ की टीम देखी कि जिस तरह से यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, ये सब लोग 8 बजे के बाद आए हैं। एमसीडी की जेसीबी भी खड़ी है, ये भी 8 बजे के बाद आई है। उसके बाद ये आने के बाद 10 बजे करीब जो यहाँ हाजी तहसीन साहब है, जिनकी बिल्डिंग थी, उनकी वालदा उनकी बीवी को निकाला गया 10:30 बजे के लगभग। इसी टीम ने आगे इसके साथ ही टीम के साथ मोहल्ले के लोगों ने अभी साथ काम कर रहे हैं और निकलवा रहे हैं। अभी लास्ट कुछ अभी तक लगभग 21 से 22 लोग यहाँ निकाल चुके हैं, जिसमें से 9 की डेथ हो चुकी है। बड़े अफसोस के साथ बड़ी दुखद घटना है। दिल मचल रहा है देखकर इसको, ये घटना देखी नहीं जा रही। उसके बाद में अभी कुछ 2-1 लोग और हैं, उनके लिए काम कर रहे हैं, देखा जा रहा है क्या है।
कितने लोगों की आशंका है कि अभी भी दबे होंगे?
अभी 2 से 3 की आशंका और है कि इस मलबे के नीचे 2 से 3 लोग और हो सकते हैं।
क्या रीज़न बताया जा रहा है कि ये घटना कैसे घटी? क्योंकि यहाँ पे और भी बिल्डिंग्स ऐसे हैं जिनकी हालत सही नहीं है, तो क्या ऐसा हुआ कि जिसकी वजह से ये 4 मंजिला ज़मीन ऐसे गिर गई कल रात?
इसका रीज़न अभी समझ नहीं आ रहा, कंफर्म नहीं हो पा रहा ये क्यों हुआ, कैसे हुआ, ये सब बात की बात है। अभी फ़िलहाल ये कि जो 3 लोग अभी इस मलबे में हैं, हम दुआ करते हैं, जनता से दुआ करते हैं कि जो लोग इस मलबे के बीच में वो साथ खैरियत सही सलामत से निकले। अभी मसला ये नहीं पता पड़ा, ये बात कंफर्म बाद में होगी कि किस तरह से क्या हुआ, इसका नहीं पता लगा। इतना पता लग पाया कि 2:50 के बीच में जो ये शोर शराबा एकदम धुआं हुआ, एक आवाज़ हुई, लोग निकल कर आए। निकलने के बाद लोगों ने आवाज़ें लगाई एक दूसरे को, सब लोग मोहल्ला पड़ोस के लोग निकल के आए, यहाँ पे बचाव कार्य शुरू किया।
As you just heard the first-hand account of one of the neighbors who was present here last night, I will request my camera person to show around the visuals here, because earlier in the day, NDRF's senior officials had also visited this particular site to take a stock of the situation. It is being told because of the narrow lanes that they have here and the conditions of the buildings here, the NDRF teams faced severe challenges as to transporting the heavy machinery that was required to pace up the process of rescue operations. Only 2 JCBs were able to deploy here along with 2 ambulances. So this was the major challenge that was faced by the rescue teams who are present here, the NDRF, the fire team, the NCD and the Delhi police officials. With that you can see the heights of the buildings and the houses and the conditions of their buildings. It is being told most of these are the illegal constructions, because as per the officials the permission is just for till the 2nd floor. However, there are many buildings who have gone up to the construction of a 4th floor. If we talk about this particular 4-story building that collapsed last night, it is being told that there was a shop that was functional and was under construction on the ground floor, and a wall was removed, because of which the foundation of the building weakened, which led to the collapse of this particular building. Back to you.
In fact, some Delhi ministers have warned of more danger in this, not just in this particular area, but overall. And let me play out what the Chief Minister of Delhi said, Rekha Gupta, on the building collapse in Delhi.
बहुत ही सेंसिटिव विषय है कि जिस तरीके से ऐसी कमज़ोर बिल्डिंग्स का निर्माण हो रहा है, उसकी सारे नियमों को ताक पे रख करके इस तरह की भवन निर्माण में जो अधिकारी दोषी हैं उनको भी सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए, जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर या जो बिल्डर उसमें लगा है उसको भी सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए। और ये इतनी जिस तरह की बिल्डिंग्स यहाँ पे पूरे के पूरे शहर में हैं, उन सब को नोटिफाई करके उन पे एक्शन होना चाहिए। इस तरह से जिस दुर्घटना होने के कारण लोगों का मारा जाना, क्षतिग्रस्त होना हम सब के लिए बड़ा पीड़ादायक है, और प्रशासन को पूरी तरीके से ताकीद किया गया है। दोषी लोगों को सजा मिलनी चाहिए और परिवार को मेरी ओर से सांत्वना है।
Okay, these pictures coming in from Bhopal now in Madhya Pradesh, where there has been a protest against Mamata Banerjee. These are live pictures coming in. Anger over Mamata Banerjee government and the handling of the situation in Murshidabad, Malda. And across India there have been protests. And these are live pictures coming in from Bhopal, where the VHP, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad leaders, workers protested against the violence against Hindus and the Hindu community in West Bengal, taking to the streets to express their anger. Mamata Banerjee is in these pictures. Mamata Banerjee's effigy burnt by the VHP workers. And the Fire and Emergency Services Department had to intervene here to try and extinguish the fire, as several effigies were burnt. And these are live pictures coming in from Bhopal. You saw the pictures of the protests even in Murshidabad and Malda, where people are alleging the state government's complicity in the riots, the violence, the anti-Waqf Act violence, in which Hindu families were targeted specifically, hounded out. And these are pictures coming in as protests continue and spread to parts of Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh as well. In fact, more and more versions are coming out from both Malda and Murshidabad, where violence was reported. Most of the victims, the Hindu families who were forced to leave their homes, many fled their homes in fear and took shelter in schools and other safer areas in Murshidabad and Malda. The West Bengal governor, the NCW, the NHRC teams have been visiting them to get a first-hand account of what they saw, what they were put through in the last few days, the violence starting the 10th of April. It appears that one thing is clear, that the police were unable to stop the rioters, and this was a targeted attack on the Hindu families. And the pictures once again playing out like we have seen many, many times in the past from Sandesh Khali, when once again Hindu families were targeted. to Murshidabad when Hindu victims were persecuted. And the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, these are live pictures coming in. There's anger as those pictures of what happened in Murshidabad played across India. These are VHP protests against the Trinamool Congress and Mamata Banerjee specifically on the handling of the Murshidabad situation.